Welcome everyone to Simply Felicity. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know I have a fun title. Is darkness near? Never fear. Captain Character is here. I have a really special guest with me today, and I'm going to introduce her now. This is Chris Van Horn. She has written her very first children's book series, and there are actually now 2 books in this series. I'm so excited to introduce them as well as her to you. So, welcome to Simply Felicity, Dr. Chris Van Horn. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me onto your show. It's a real pleasure to be here.
So great to have you. We've never had a children's book author before,
Good.
and that's fitting because you've never been a children's book author before.
That's true. That is true.
I'm excited to share with my audience, how this book came to be, because I think I just always love to talk to my audience about making their dreams come true. So, this was a dream that was given to you.
Mhm.
And that's something I've talked about on the show before. People always think of a dream as something you've always dreamed of doing since you were a little girl or something like that. But sometimes, later in life, God actually puts a dream in you for whatever reason. It's for His purposes, right? So, tell us about that.
Absolutely. I had authored 3 adult books and was not thinking of writing a children's story. And I went to a coaching conference, and the Lord put on my heart the name Captain Character. And I thought, what is that? I do not know. Okay, Captain Character. I'm supposed to do something with Captain Character. And I knew that the skills that he had given me were really in writing and being an author. So I wrote down the name Captain Character. And just like my other books, I just wrote down the part that the Lord gave me, and which was the name. And I just started writing, and it just kind of formed. So I really believe that was all led by the Lord. And He just, gave me this new dream of writing this. And it became a series. So I'm on book 2. I've started writing book 3. I intended to be a chapter book series for older children, for family reading. And now this is what I'm striving after.
Yeah, I love that. And you had some inspiration within your family for this book. Yeah, tell us about the inspiration for Captain Character. We kind of get a glimpse of him behind you there.
Mhm.
And you can hold up the 2 books too, so we can really get a nice.
Sure. So this is the picture behind me is showing the first book. The banner down lower shows the second, but this is the first one, Captain Character, and then here is book 2. So it's a little bit different image. It kind of shows him with the power that he has that's radiating from his hand. But the inspiration for what he looked like is really my oldest grandson, Matthew. And so the picture here, as well as the one behind me, is the artist that I had. I sent him pictures of my oldest grandson, who is younger than this, and he took those pictures and the I guess the persona that my oldest grandson had, and turned him into Captain Character. So his hair is red. It is very full. It is a lot like this. And it's kind of the stance that he would take. He's just got that personality. So he was truly my inspiration for who Captain Character became.
That's so cool. I never thought to ask you, has he read the books? What does he think of this persona that he has?
Well, it's interesting because he wears a trench coat, and he'd like to have a trench coat. And so he sees himself as this Captain Character.
Wow.
He can relate to it. And so he shared the book with friends, and they all enjoy reading it. And his brothers are in the story as well. And they all have really enjoyed this. So I have used the names of family members in here and given them different characters in here. So they are
Oh,
all enjoying this.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. Well, it truly is a family affair. And you said that you were interested in people seeing this as a book that they could read with their families.
Yeah.
Tell everybody, I believe you have some resources on the website for that.
I do. So, realizing that this book, when I wrote it, I kind of envisioned it be for like junior high level. Although my grandson's in high school and he and his friends are enjoying reading it, my 7-year-old granddaughter is reading it. So there's a wide variety. And, in discussions you and I have had, we really see that this could be something for the entire family. Right now, with families being more homebound, it's a resource for a whole family to read. So, they could take turns reading sections of it. And what I have put up on the website is a parent reading resource. So under the resources tab of the website, we'll make sure that you have the website.
Yeah, I just put it in the comments.
Oh, did you? Good. And in there, so if you go to the resources tab, it's got a family reading plan. And so Captain Character, through a turn of events, he's a scientist, and all of a sudden he finds himself a superhero, and he calls himself Captain Character. He's put in a situation where somebody's like, "Who are you?" And that's what he says, because he's teaching character. And so he just says, "I'm Captain Character." And that's how the name within the storyline is born. And so as he's teaching character traits, he comes upon different situations where people find themselves needing to have an answer. And he appears and he teaches them the right character traits. Well, that is very conducive for a family reading plan. So in what I have put as a free resource on the website is something that parents or teachers could follow along with for the different character traits. And it's got guided questions. It's got some background information on what that character trait really means, some guided questions, and some ideas that they can have to lead their own dialogue. So if there's a specific character trait, they may want to, if it's parents, they may want to be telling their children, this is what I would expect of you to do in a situation like this. So it comes up with some example questions like that for leading that dialogue.
And, when the idea, when we had talked about this family reading plan, it reminded me actually of, because I happen to know the family of your artist.
Yes.
Or Captain Character. And I remember them mentioning that they sat around sometimes after dinner or whatever, and they would read to each other. They would like pass the book around or whatever. And so I just thought, wow, that really takes that concept and maybe introduces it to more families as something they can do. I know as a parent, I was always trying to figure out ways to keep my children off the screen. It's such a big draw. Yes. And during these days and times, like, we really want to find ways to equip the children also to be able to deal with the difficulties of maybe staying home more, a different school learning situation. Like, so many things have changed. And I think character is the real way that you go ahead and deal with that. So yeah, I mean, it's just, it kind of has a 2-for-1 mission there,
It does.
families together, but putting that character in them. Can you name a situation where character has meant a lot to you? Maybe some difficulty that you've had to go through and you had to draw on the character inside of you?
Yes. I have had situations in my work environment where I really didn't, want to follow. I guess some of the directions of my leadership were not what I would have liked to have done. And it took character. It took stepping back and realizing, they know some things that I don't know. They're coming from a different level. And so just being able to be obedient to your leadership when they give you instruction is something that you need to do. And I have found that when I have done that, it's the right decision. They know things from their management and their bosses, and there's a greater perspective. And I think this is an area where we're really missing today. There's so much out there with everybody's got their own opinion about everything. And, this person's doing something wrong and that person's doing something wrong. And, we're against the police, we're against the president. No, that is not what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to be obedient to our leadership. And then things are in order. And I think that's a good example, and it's related very much to me in my life.
Yeah, and there's a promise of peace in the Bible when
Yes.
we give respect to our authorities, even by praying for them. So the Bible is actually telling us what we can do when we disagree, right?
Yes, you pray for those in authority.
We can pray for them, and that actually brings peace to our life. Not
Yes.
to mention the benefits of praying for another person, like actually praying that God's best be done for them. What are some of the other character traits that are in these books?
Well, you had mentioned the word respect, and that is one of them. One is being trustworthy. Another is being kind. And as I develop all of these books, I have a whole list of character traits that I intend to bring into the stories. This is something we all need to know. Kindness is really big. I mean, if we were all kind to one another, we wouldn't be in the situations we are. There's so many people that are out there hurting each other. No, we are supposed to be kind to one another. It's one of the fruits of the Spirit, and we are supposed to do that. And it's a very important character trait. And parents can teach that to a little child. They can be kind to their brother or sister. We can begin those kind of things at an early age, so that by the time they're in the work environment, it's who they are.
Mm-hmm. What I love about that, again, for, just these days that we're living in, it's not about waiting for someone to be kind to you.
No. No.
That's not the point. So if you feel like you're in an environment or you're just seeing all kinds of unkindness around you, you're not waiting for it to start with someone else.
That's true.
You realize that it's what needs to calm, from the inside. So how does Captain Character really teach those traits to the youth? How does it get implemented in the book?
Well, as a superhero, he's got superhero traits. So it was nothing he sought after. It in the storyline, it happened through equipment that he had with an experiment, and it took him a while to realize what even happened to him. But he had a keen sense about him when people were in trouble, and he would appear on the scene, and he was kind of in a stance of authority, respect. People that encountered him realized they needed to stop and listen to this man. He just came in with that air of knowing what to do, and they would freeze in their track, and they'd listen to him, and then he would teach them. And he had that within him in the storyline through his own life and situations that happened to him. And he had a real desire to reach out to the young, although in book 2, he's really interacting with adults. And, it's really anybody that he encounters that way. But it's within him. It's who he really was, coming out in a way to help others.
Yes. Awesome. But I really think, and I've gotten a chance to read the books, just want people to be able to experience it and hear it from you.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the reaction that people had to Captain Character in the book, it made me think of how people with strong character have an air about them. And,
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not a male-female thing, but particularly men that are strong and walk in character and walk in love. Like, it just speaks, they can just enter a room and it changes the atmosphere.
Yes.
And that really, it totally is true of all of us, I think. But it's really a cool thing. And so Captain Character embodies that. And I think he helps make the children kind of desire that for themselves. Like,
they do.
Presence.
And he's been able to, in the storyline, turn people around. So the first time he encounters three young boys, it dramatically impacts their life, and they realize, wait a minute, we shouldn't be fighting with each other here. We really are good friends. And they kind of band together in the storyline, and they want to be helpful to Captain Character. And so it makes a dramatic impact on them. And that's really how character is in all of our lives. It makes an impact. If someone is showing character to you, whether it's, kindness or anything else, it has an impact. And that's important. And it's important for all of us, whether you're young or old. We all need to enhance the character traits in our life.
I want to just encourage everyone. There's a cool Facebook group based on the book. It's called Character Champions. And you can just request to be a part of that group if you want to keep character at the forefront of your mind. I think, we have to have little things that remind us about
Mhm.
about character and who it is that we're wanting to be. So I just want to, tell you that's a free way that you can engage and know when the third book is coming out.
Mhm.
But if you're wanting the book, it's captain-character.com. I've got that in the comments, and you'll find some cool products there. And you told me you had them next to you, so I don't want
Yes,
to just show everybody what their kids
sure.
kind of take a part of and feel like Captain Character.
Absolutely. The first one, it's a little hard to see. Let me see if I can bring it in a little
Oh, I can
closer.
see
Uh-huh.
the green really
The
good.
sunglasses. He wears sunglasses in the storyline. So he has these, mirrored sunglasses. And so people really don't see his eyes, and he can feel an intensity in his eyes. And so the sunglasses are one of the products. And on the side, you'll be able to see it on the website, maybe better, but it says Captain Character. And then we've got gym bags with Captain Character on it.
Yes.
So that is on the website. And then I've got some t-shirts. It's different for children and adults. So this one is one of the children's, their youth sizes. And so they're green. Green is his color. So he has, as an effect of the power from the machine, he's got a green glowing left index finger. So green is a color, and his glasses are green. So I chose the green color with the outline of him from book 2. And then for adults, it is a shirt with the actual cover of the book. So see if I can do that. Can you see that okay, Felicity? I'm behind
I
it.
can, and I don't know how you chose the blue, but it's a really pretty blue. I love the blue.
It matches the
Oh,
all the blue and the cover of the book. And the lady that helped me with all the t-shirts and the designing, that was her recommendation, was to go with the blue. And so I did, and it turned out beautifully.
Well, you have created a little industry over there.
Thank you.
It's cool because I have people watching from across the country, but if you're in the Illinois area, the book is set in Plainfield and in Joliet, so it's got kind of a neat local feel. But just encouraging kids to be proud of wherever they are, and
Mhm.
be able to take care of where they are by showing character traits. So I know it's getting into October. People may be starting to think about Christmas gifts or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and I love that you can not only just give this book to your child, but you can also kind of say, hey, this is something we're going to do as a family, and we're going to discuss these things. So I really love that you have those resources on the website to encourage families to engage with each other.
Oh, absolutely. And it just it's conducive to open dialogue within the family setting.
Absolutely. And then one other thing I want to make sure we share before we go is book 3. You gave me a little sneak peek that we're going to have a villain come into the
Yes.
picture. Yeah,
Yes. Detective Doubt.
Detective Doubt. So, man, I think that's something everyone gets a chance to deal with. And like I said, with what kids are facing these days, it's certainly not too early to talk to them about how to deal with doubts
Yes.
that they may get. So um, make sure you get your kids hooked up to Captain Character 1 and 2 so they'll be prepared for the villain coming on the scene. Anything else you just wanted to share with people about this mission?
I just think it's important for everyone. So, I want to encourage the family reading plan process, because, even if, little ones can't read, they can be read to. If there's big words that are in there that they wouldn't understand, you could alternate them and put in a word that they would understand, as you're reading it to them. Yet the message that's in there is there for the parents as well. I mean, we all need to focus on character in our lives. And at this moment in time, there's so much turmoil that's going on in the world. To be people of character is going to make us shine, make us be the light to the world, and help people. So it's just an important thing that we all do to love one another, is to be better people of character.
Thank you for doing this. Thank you for holding up the light, not just for adults, but it needs to start with the youth. That's how
It does.
change the world, and that's where all indoctrination starts, which is normally seen as a bad word. But if we're putting in good qualities, then we know that that's a good word. And so thank you for helping families to be able to do that and to really turn things around.
Well, thank you for inviting me to talk about it further. It's something that I feel very strongly about, that we all need to be better people of character.
You heard it here, ladies and gents. Let us know if you have any questions or anything. Chris would be happy to answer them. I can let her know. But share out the broadcast. Let people know about Captain Character. One of the ways that we combat the darkness is by holding up the light. It's not complaining about the darkness. It's holding up the light that really can change things. So this is one of the ways we can do that. So thanks again for joining us, and thank you, audience, for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone.